Cowboys Nation, buckle up because things are heating up in Dallas, and not just because of that Texas sun. There's a storm brewing around one name that's suddenly become the heartbeat of this Cowboys offense: George Pickens. Yeah, that same George Pickens that a lot of people said would never fit in with a disciplined locker room like Dallas. The same guy who left Pittsburgh with a reputation for being difficult. Guess what? He's flipped the script completely. The Cowboys took a gamble, sent off a third-round pick to the Steelers, and so far, that move looks like a straight-up jackpot. Through 7 games, Pickens has been on fire. 36 catches, 607 yards, 6 touchdowns, and it feels like he's drawing a pass interference flag every other drive. But what's turning heads isn't just the numbers. It's the way he's carrying himself. Coaches are raving about his energy, his work ethic, the way he shows up every day like he's got something to prove. For a guy who was once criticized for attitude issues, he's become one of the tone setters for this Cowboys squad. And now, Cowboys legend Dez Bryant is jumping into the conversation with a message that's got the fan base buzzing. Dez isn't just saying Pickens is good. He's saying Dallas needs to lock this man up long-term, right now. According to Dez, Pickens and CeeDee Lamb together could be something truly special. 2 elite receivers, both explosive, both young, both hungry. Dez said it best. You and CeeDee, you're dynamic. Stay together, grow together, go to the Hall of Fame together. That's coming from a guy who knows what it takes to be great in this city. Pickens proved exactly why Dez is right these past few weeks. When CeeDee Lamb went down with that nasty high ankle sprain, everybody wondered who would step up. Pickens didn't just step up, he took over. In 3 games without Lamb, he went over 100 yards twice, including that monster 168-yard performance in Week 6. He became Dak Prescott's go-to target, and the chemistry between them looked like something that had been building for years, not months. That's the kind of connection you don't mess with. And here's where it gets interesting. The Cowboys made that blockbuster Micah Parsons trade earlier this season, freeing up a ton of cap space. Now, everyone's asking the same question. Could this be the perfect time to give Pickens that extension? Because if there's one thing the Cowboys have learned the hard way over the years, it's that waiting too long to reward your young stars can get expensive, real fast. Keeping Lamb and Pickens together long-term would mean giving Dak Prescott the kind of arsenal that could keep this team in Super Bowl contention for years to come. Speaking of Dak, let's talk about the run he's on right now. Because if you've been watching these past 4 games, you know he's playing at a level that deserves every bit of the hype he's getting. Prescott has officially entered historic territory. He's become just the 6th quarterback in NFL history to throw at least 3 touchdowns without an interception in 4 straight games. And the names he's now alongside? Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Russell Wilson. That's not just a good group. That's a Mount Rushmore of quarterback excellence. The numbers tell the story, but they don't even do it justice. 16 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions through 7 games, and an efficiency that's turning defenses inside out. It's not just that he's putting up points, it's the way he's doing it. Calm, poised, in total command of the offense. Against Washington, he went 21 for 30, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, and not a single throw you'd want back. That's surgical precision. That's championship-caliber football. Even Jerry Jones couldn't hold back his excitement after that performance. You know Jerry, he's never shy with a microphone. But this time, his words carried real weight. He's mine, and he should be Cowboy fans, Jones said when asked about Dak's MVP chances. He gives us a tremendous opportunity, and this team is really following him. That's not just owner speak. That's a man who's seen enough football to recognize when his quarterback is in rare form. And here's what's wild, it's not luck. What we're seeing from Dak is years of work, refinement, and chemistry finally paying off. First-year offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer has unlocked something in this system that's letting Dak play free, confident, and aggressive without forcing anything. The offense isn't predictable anymore. They're mixing formations, using motion, giving Dak the freedom to read defenses and take what's there. And when you combine that with how well he's connecting with his receivers, especially now that Lamb and Pickens are both healthy, this unit looks unstoppable. Even Tom Brady took notice. Yeah, the GOAT himself. He handed Dak the LFG Player of the Game recognition, which is basically the Brady stamp of approval. That's not some participation award. That's Brady saying, You're playing elite football. And when a guy who's got 7 rings says that, it means something. After the game, Dak told Brady, "When we play to what we're capable of doing, we're going to be a very tough team to beat." That's not arrogance. That's a quarterback who's finally seeing the full potential of what's around him. But maybe the biggest key to this surge isn't any individual stat, it's chemistry. The energy inside that Cowboys locker room feels different. You can see it in the way the players celebrate together, the way the sideline reacts after a big play, the way the offense feeds off each other's confidence. Having guys like CeeDee Lamb back in the lineup, along with Cavani Turpin stretching defenses deep, has given Dak his full arsenal again. And when your quarterback trusts every weapon he's got, magic happens. Lamb wasted no time reminding everyone how dangerous he is. 5 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown in his first game back. Dak said it himself. The chemistry, the camaraderie, the trash talk, the emotion, it's as strong as I've ever seen it. That kind of bond doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it's what separates good teams from great ones. Offensive coordinator Clayton Adams deserves credit too. The running game has found new life under his guidance. Javonte Williams, in particular, looks reborn. That balance is what's taking pressure off Dak and allowing him to pick defenses apart without having to carry everything on his shoulders. This 4-game stretch isn't just about numbers or accolades. It's about consistency, leadership, and control. Quarterbacks can get hot for a week or two, but sustaining that level of play against real competition, against divisional opponents who know your tendencies inside and out, that's what makes it special. Prescott's showing that he belongs in that elite conversation, not because of flash, but because he's mastering the fundamentals. Quick reads, smart decisions, accuracy, and trust in his teammates. When you start comparing what Dak's doing right now to those legendary runs by Brady in 2007, Manning in 2013, or Rodgers in 2014, it's not hyperbole. It's reality. He's earned his seat at that table. Cowboys fans have waited a long time to see this version of Dak. Confident, fearless, efficient, and surrounded by the right mix of talent and coaching. And if this is just the beginning of what's to come, then Dallas might finally be on the verge of something that's been missing for far too long: sustained excellence at the highest level. What makes this whole moment so fascinating for Cowboys fans is that everything seems to be clicking at the same time. It's not just about Dak Prescott lighting up defenses or George Pickens turning into one of the most electrifying receivers in the league. It's the sense that Dallas has finally found balance, something that's been missing for years. This team isn't living off hype anymore. It's playing with structure, discipline, and a clear identity. You can feel it in the way the offense operates, the way the defense feeds off the crowd, and the way the locker room rallies behind its leaders. The Cowboys aren't just winning games, they're dictating how those games are played. Pickens embodies that new energy. The fire he brings every Sunday feels contagious. Every time he lines up, defenders are forced to make a choice. Give him space and he'll burn you deep, or press him and risk being humiliated on national television. His competitive edge reminds fans of what Dez Bryant once brought to this franchise, that raw emotion and swagger that lights a spark across the whole sideline. But unlike the early career version of Dez, Pickens seems to have found the balance between passion and composure. He plays with controlled aggression, the kind that fuels greatness rather than chaos. You can see how much he's matured, and that's a credit to the Cowboys coaching staff for creating a culture where he can thrive. When Dez Bryant tells Pickens to stay in Dallas, it's not just nostalgia talking. It's a player who understands what this environment can do for a wide receiver with sky-high potential. Dez knows the pressure of wearing the star on your helmet. He knows how this fan base can turn you into a legend if you deliver, but also how tough it can be when things go wrong. And that's why his message carries so much meaning. Pickens isn't just another good player passing through. He's someone who could redefine what the Cowboys offense looks like for the next decade if they lock him down now. What's even more exciting is how well he and CeeDee Lamb complement each other. Lamb is all finesse and precision, a route technician who slices defenses with clean footwork and timing. Pickens, on the other hand, is a highlight waiting to happen, a jump ball specialist with freakish body control. When those two share the field, defenses can't focus on either one. If you double Lamb, Pickens wins the one-on-one. If you roll coverage toward Pickens, Lamb will carve you up underneath. That dual threat has opened up the playbook in ways we haven't seen in Dallas for years. And for Dak Prescott, it means he finally has the kind of dynamic duo that can turn every drop back into a potential game changer. The most underrated part of this Cowboys resurgence, though, might be the leadership dynamic. Prescott has grown into the kind of steady presence every locker room needs. You can tell his teammates respect him, not just for what he does on the field, but for how he carries himself off it. He's been through the highs and lows, the injuries, the criticism, the doubts, and instead of letting that define him, he's used it to harden his resolve. This version of Dak doesn't flinch. He doesn't panic when things go sideways. He believes in his preparation, and that calm has become infectious. You see it in the way the young guys respond to him, in how they keep fighting even when a play breaks down. It's no coincidence that this transformation has aligned with the coaching staff finally tailoring the offense to Dak's strengths. Instead of forcing him into someone else's system, they're building around what he does best: quick reads, movement, and rhythm passing. The tempo has increased, the play action looks sharper, and the spacing has improved dramatically. You watch the Cowboys now, and it's not that same stagnant attack from past seasons where everything looked forced. There's flow, there's creativity, there's confidence. One thing that's been flying under the radar is how much the running game has improved since Clayton Adams took over the offensive coordination duties. The Cowboys aren't leaning on the run like a crutch anymore. They're using it strategically. Javonte Williams, for example, looks rejuvenated, running with the kind of burst and physicality that makes defenders second-guess tackling him. That balance has forced defenses to stay honest, giving Dak more opportunities to exploit mismatches in the secondary. And when you combine that with the kind of rhythm passing we've been seeing lately, it's no surprise that Dallas has looked unstoppable over the last month. You can sense a different type of belief in this locker room. There's no more waiting for something bad to happen, no more self-inflicted wounds that derail momentum. The Cowboys are playing clean football, minimal penalties, smart clock management, and situational awareness that's miles ahead of where they were last season. That's what championship-caliber teams do. They learn how to control every detail of the game. And for a franchise that's been chasing consistency for years, this evolution feels monumental. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. The Dallas Cowboys appear to be making waves in the NFL rumor mill as whispers grow louder about their latest defensive masterstroke. According to sources close to the organization, the Cowboys have secured none other than Brian Burns, the dynamic edge rusher whose name has been synonymous with pressure and havoc in opposing backfields. While the front office has remained characteristically tight-lipped, insiders suggest that this move could redefine the team's defensive identity, signaling a bold commitment to domination on that side of the ball. Burns, known for his explosive first step and uncanny ability to disrupt quarterbacks, would instantly become the centerpiece of a defense hungry for playmakers. Rumors suggest that the Cowboys see him as more than just a pass-rushing threat. His versatility and experience could allow defensive coordinator Dan Quinn to unleash a scheme that keeps offenses guessing on every snap. Analysts are already speculating about the ways Burns could complement Micah Parsons, creating a nightmare scenario for anyone lining up against Dallas next season. The timing of the move has also fueled speculation, with the NFL offseason already buzzing with trade chatter and free agent signings. Landing a player of Burns' caliber hints at the Cowboys' unwillingness to settle for mediocrity. Fans, social media, and even rival locker rooms are abuzz with conjecture. Is this a prelude to a full defensive overhaul, or is Dallas simply stacking talent to ensure supremacy in the NFC East? Whatever the case, the message seems clear. Dallas is preparing to strike fear into every offense that dares to step onto their turf. Of course, until official announcements are made, all of this remains in the realm of tantalizing speculation. But one thing is undeniable. If the Cowboys have indeed secured Burns, the narrative surrounding their defense could shift overnight from strong to downright terrifying. The rumor alone is enough to send rival fans into a frenzy, imagining relentless pressure, sacks, and game-changing turnovers week after week. Whether fantasy owners, analysts, or casual supporters, everyone is now watching closely, waiting to see if this whispered acquisition becomes the cornerstone of Dallas' defensive dominance in the upcoming season. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.